Well, howdy and welcome back to the workshop. In today's episode, my friend Rick Hall and I are going to be building a couple of big old chopping knives. Rick, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Will. How are you?
I'm doing great. Rick and I have been wanting to hang out in the shop for quite a while now. I got to see his shop like 2 years ago when I was driving home with the big old Beaudry.
The monster.
Yeah, but we only stopped for about 6 hours. Rick lives in Reno, and he and I passed our journeyman test together this year at Blade Show, and we finally get to spend a little bit of time in the shop, and I think we're going to build a couple of big old chopping knives. What do you think?
Been looking forward to it.
It's going to be awesome. The concept for this, and what we've been talking about kind of leading up to it, trying to figure out what we wanted to build, is that there's a guy out there who builds these knives that he can chop through a 2x4 in one swipe with.
One shot.
That's pretty good.
We're going to give it a try. Hopefully it'll work, but I'm optimistic.
So with that, let's talk about the design that we're going to do, and then we'll fire up the forge and get going. Now, before we jump into working on our choppers, we need to talk about something pretty serious. And this came to my attention that approximately 9 out of 10 Americans are afflicted with not having a Squarespace website. It's really sad because Squarespace is not only today's sponsor for the video, but they have an incredibly easy to use website building platform. Now, if you're intimidated about the idea of building a website, don't be. If you're technologically literate enough to be able to click on this video and watch it, you're probably able to build a website on Squarespace, and you can make it look good because they have pre-made templates. Now, Squarespace is wonderful because they make it so easy to be able to add products. They have members-only pages. You can have galleries. You can have links to your social media, and it's really nice to have a professional-looking website that you can be able to direct people to if you're talking to them on the street or at a party or whatever it is, or to have links from your social media to a website. It just kind of ups the level of professionalism that you can have for whatever you're passionate about, whatever you're working on. So if you guys are thinking about trying out Squarespace, I really highly recommend it. I built my site 5 years ago now, and it's been wonderful the whole time. They make it really easy to get a custom domain and to build out your whole system. So if you guys are interested in building a website, go to squarespace.com/Will Stelter for 10% off your first purchase on a website or a domain. Thank you, Squarespace, for sponsoring today's episode. With that, let's jump back in.
What are we going to make them out of?
Steel.
Okay.
So here's the design that I have drawn up. Big old wide sucker. This thing's like almost 3 inches wide at the widest point here. We're gonna make them really thick at the spine. Normally, knives are like 1/4 inch thick or so. I'd say it's about average for like a Bowie or something in this size, but we're gonna make them 3/8 or even a little bit thicker, and gonna do an integral bolster. And then I have this kind of ghost shadow line drawn in here. I want that to be kind of an S grind. So the cross section of the blade will be wide at the spine, thin at the edge, ground area, and then this will be forged in actually. So we'll have our convex grind, kind of like that. So we'll have a lot of weight because of how thick it is back there. And then we'll have this relieved, forged in area here, and that will hopefully have less friction in the cut. So it'll be only a very small area that's actually having to push through the material, and we'll still have a lot of good weight to it.
Absolutely. I decided to go the other way with a wood knife that I think I can break off on steel in one shot.
I think Rick's going to end up doing a non-forged S grind. He's going to do like a convex grind or a flat grind or something like that. So that'll be interesting to see the difference in performance. The rest of the knife will be pretty similar. The thickness at the spine, the convexing on the edge, but we'll have one S-shaped and the other one
absolutely
regular.
Check the geometry.
Are you going to leave yours brute to forge, or are you going to grind the whole thing?
I think I'm going to brute to forge it.
Okay.
Haven't done much of that. Been doing the journeyman style stuff for quite a while, and I want to get away from a little bit of hand sanding on this one.
That's okay. So let's go ahead, fire up the forge. I've got some 1080 hexagonal stock that I think will work quite well for this.
Absolutely. very hard technique that Will is doing right there, because every time you hit it, it moves somewhere and it's screwing up everything else that you did. So in order to bring that thing back to center, bring the tang back to center with the blade, he's got to manipulate it a lot.
I reckon that's getting pretty close.
There it goes. Look at it getting hot. Look at it go all the way.
Wow,
Phase shifting.
that's crazy. Don't drop it.
Straight.
Stuff is probably really bad for your lungs. Your bolster's gone.
Yeah.
Bolsterless.
So I tightened the wrong knob. So when I went to push in, it went in and it gouged the living daylights out of it. So I had to take it off.
Youch.
Workaround.
Well, Rick has a little bit more grinding to do on his blade, and I've got a little bit of handle grinding to do. I got my bolster fit up.
So I made a chopper, and Will decided to make a showroom piece.
Yep. Oh,
Bingo.
easy day. Like butter. Are we gonna have a race, Rick, and see who can go through a 2x4? Should we do less chops or should we do time?
I think just do one chop.
See how deep?
And measure how deep it goes.
Alrighty. Ready?
Yep.
That's pretty good. You know? 1.148 inches. Not quite all the way through,
Not quite.
but not bad. Should I see?
It's a hard 2x4. You gotta say though, it's a really hard 2x4.
No!
I skipped it.
Right at 7-0. Oh no.
Nice. That's why I didn't want to be close to the clamp.
Took a pretty big ding out of the clamp though.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to try it with mine now?
No. So, from the clamp.
Oh, that geometry is noise.
That's a good one.
That's interesting that it does want to skip a little bit more than mine. 15.
Now, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
How do you feel it cuts one knife to the other?
You definitely feel the difference in geometries.
Yeah.
This feels, well, it has less resistance. You have far shallower geometry than I do. But I also feel that it makes the knife want to,
It does.
it turns it a little bit, and it doesn't do that so much with mine. So it cuts nice. 18.5.
18.5.
Okay. 23. So 5 ounces heavier, quarter pound.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is a lot more like an axe.
Right.
I think yours is going to be slicier no matter what. And I think that mine would probably lend itself better for like heavy chopping and wood splitting.
Hold up quite a bit longer.
Well, maybe.
I'm not hitting it full force, but I just wanted to see if it does not stick at all.
You want to try mine? It's going straight down.
I can definitely feel the weight difference.
And you feel the geometry too, I
Yeah.
think. Watch out, buddy. Ready?
Yep.
Yeah, that's just.
Give a hit. Yeah. Well, we got our choppers wrapped up. Neither of them even came close to doing a one hit through the 2x4, but we kind of figured that out very early on.
Yes, we did.
This chopped very well. It's interesting to see the difference between the two, between the thin, fast geometry and the slightly heavier forged-in geometry with those hollows. Very fun to chop with, very fun to test out. I don't quite know what I'm going to do with this knife yet. I do know that I have plans for getting a sheath made for it, and after that, I'm thinking that I might open it up and see what folks want to trade for it. I think that'd be an interesting concept, but we'll talk more about that in the sheath video.
Absolutely. I'm keeping mine.
Well, anyway, Rick, thank you so much for coming out. It was a pleasure having you.
Wonderful. It's been wonderful.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you to the patrons for patronizing us. We'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.